Before we get started with today's podcast, we'd like to ask returning listeners to leave us a rating or review on your favorite podcast platform, iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud, or wherever you listen to your podcasts. And if you really enjoy it, share a link to this podcast with friends or family who would enjoy hearing our weekly discussions about basketball and basketball culture. Now, on to the show.
Yeah, isn't it amazing when Michigan can keep this game to a 19-foot, 9-inch game inside that three-point line? It's all there. Nice move by Steve Fisher here. Turn it into the 19-9 game.
Welcome to the 99 Podcast by HPS. I'm Josh Barnett, and today I'm checking in from East 9th Street in Manhattan at Mr. Throwback's Vintage Store. I'm here with the owner, Michael Spitz, Mr. Throwback himself. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Can't complain. Well, we got some shit
We
to
can
complain
complain.
about.
I like complaining.
Yeah, for sure, but nobody would give a shit, right?
I mean, let's complain.
So,
Hey, picture time. Excellent. Gamers. That's all I want in life is gamers.
So we're down here. We're at our pop-up event that we had set up with you to celebrate the Big East and celebrate some of the great shorts of college basketball past, and then we lost the fucking package. We didn't lose it.
USPS
Did lose our package.
lost a package of great non-vintage new retro shorts, which I actually like, which is cool. 2020 is Mr. Throwback less stubborn.
Okay.
When I first opened the shop, I would only do champion jerseys. But now, as kids are getting younger and they're into newer players, I'm being less stubborn, and I'm selling Adidas and Reebok and Nike Swingman. So, yeah, because a 13-year-old kid is like, who the hell is Tom Gugliotta? I don't know who that is.
That's disrespectful, though.
I know, but like, a kid knows LeBron and Kobe, R.I.P., and Iverson and Jordan, all the main players. So
Sure.
it's hard to get those in champions. So why not, go with the trend and go a little newer, Nike Swingman, Adidas Swingman.
Sure.
And, so I'm being less stubborn. So then when you hit me up, I was like, wow, these are actually dope. I really appreciate what you're doing. And the graphics are sick. The Villanova shorts are fire. I didn't even go to Villanova, and I want those shorts. I'm not a big Philly fan, and I'll rock those shorts.
We're gonna get you a pair because I had a pair in the box that didn't.
Those
get
are
delivered.
dope
For you.
And they have pockets now, so I can walk around. I can put my wallet, my keys, my phone. Because like. That's the thing with NBA shorts, there's no pockets.
Right.
So I own over 100 basketball shorts, no pockets. So what I did was I made my own fanny pack. I made Mr. Throwback basketball fanny packs because where are you going to put your wallet, your keys, your phone, and you're 38 years old? You're not stuffing in your sock like back in the day when you were a kid.
We're like dad's age now.
We're dads,
right?
We're dads.
That's
so
it.
like, where are you gonna? You're not gonna ask your wife to hold your wallet, phone, keys. You ever hear that song by Adam Sandler?
Yeah.
Oh,
Sure.
I love it. That's just in my head. Phone,
So-
wallet, keys.
Growing up, when you
Yeah.
were growing up and you were playing ball, pockets or no pockets on your shorts? Growing up, back in the day, our day.
No, there wasn't any pockets. I mean,
None to be had, right?
Nope, no pockets because they made exactly to the T of what the players wore.
Right.
And that's what I mess with now. I just want the original stuff, but I've realized with my my stubbornness, I'm growing, I'm evolving, and I'm like, I want to wear these shorts every day, but I can't wear them without pockets. So putting pockets in NBA shorts, light bulb.
We have more shit now.
It's a brilliant idea,
Right.
Because now I can.
Now we have cell phones.
You got cell
keys,
phones, keys,
wallets. That's all shit I didn't even carry when I was
you had
like growing
maybe
up.
a beeper back in the day.
But that would just clip.
That would clip.
on
you
the-
know,
on the
you put your
waistband.
money in your socks, or you had a backpack. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't really rock a backpack that often.
I'm still a big backpack
but
guy.
I made the fanny pack because that's hot. That was a trend.
Sure.
So, excuse me.
Don't worry about
Hopefully
that. We can
didn't get
edit that
on-
shit
I
out.
Edit that shit out. I burped. Sorry, guys. But Yeah, so I made these fanny packs because I needed to put my phone, wallet, keys somewhere.
For sure.
And, you know, the only thing is hopefully the pockets are not super deep because then they just smack your kneecap and you're like, you're ruined. It hurts.
Yeah, for sure.
You know,
like we're getting old. We don't recover from
you're
those
running
injuries.
around and things are smacking around, you know. So
well, let me get back to the shop because the shop's dope, right?
Thank you.
You're welcome. And I wanted to ask, so this whole thing really started with the Sean Kemp jersey? Is that true?
It did. Came home from
Can
Yep.
you tell that?
Sure. 2005, came home from college, Towson University. Represent sport management. Got a bachelor's degree. It's crazy. What's funny is most people don't get college degrees in the areas that they're in now.
Sure.
But I manage a sport business, so my parents are real proud.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Thanks, parents. Shout out to my mom and dad still paying my college tuition.
Where'd you get the Sean Kemp jersey from?
Marshall's.
Marshall's
So
is the shit,
Marshall's
though, right?
the shit. So my parents, listen, I didn't come from a lot of money. My parents were in retail. My mom ran actually a clothing store called the Cotton Warehouse. It sold
dope.
like, at the time it wasn't vintage, but
So this shit was in your blood, though, a little
it's
bit.
in the blood. And my dad's in jewelry, so retail jewelry. So didn't come from a lot of money. So my parents I wouldn't even buy champion jerseys at like Sports Authority, Champs, Models. I bought them at Marshall's. And anytime a player like got traded, they would dump them in Marshall's.
Yeah.
So I actually had the mismatch. I had the white home Sean Kemp, and then I had the green matching shorts. So it was a mismatch.
But that's good.
It was dope.
That's good
But,
because you can't wear a full fucking
I don't know,
uniform.
but
Same
now
color.
I wear full sets.
Yeah, with the Felipe shit that we sent you too.
For now, I feel like I'm a basketball player. I wear the full set because I never made, I didn't make the high school basketball team. I can't run fast. I have bad posture, flat feet. Got a lot to complain about, with this sexy bod that my parents
You look
gave
good,
me.
man. You
I
look fucking
real good.
We love the Penn State Instagram story yesterday too.
Yeah, so
For
this
those of you that
guy
haven't
brought
checked it
in
out.
a Penn State game-worn jersey. We looked the player up. He averaged 1.7 points per game, 1.6 rebounds per game, and 0.7 assists per game.
The jersey's
Michael
still dope, though.
Joseph. It's fire, but it's weird because the colorway is a little different. It's like a baby blue.
Yeah, but
it's kind of North Carolina.
But Nova did that back in like the '85
right.
too, and in the '90s era, they would accent, and they still do. But that baby blue, just something about that with the navy just brings shit out. Like it's my favorite colorway of just clothes in general.
It's definitely dope. The problem is I have a large belly, and the white. So that jersey's from 93-4, which actually Champion had the license, and I believe the mesh is double in the front and single in the back because I know they did that with the Knicks jerseys, so they're definitely more narrow and fitted. So a 48 doesn't look too sexy on me, and it was like a +3.
Right.
But this guy Michael Joseph, 6'10", I'm 6'1", 268-ish. Solid
rock.
Husky.
Just
When
a fucking bear, man.
I'm a bear and I'm hairy as shit. I just went to California and shaved my back hair.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
because you don't want to have a hairy back when you're walking around with a jersey on. It's not sexy. You don't want to look like Teen Wolf.
Right.
Or
do you? If you have a Teen Wolf jersey on.
If you do. I'm not into those like custom made.
Yeah, it
like,
comes across generic,
it's
right?
kind of, to me, it's like a little bootleg.
Yeah.
Because they technically didn't make that jersey, but now they're making it. But then again, I'm being less stubborn. I would wear a Mighty Ducks fake jersey like Charlie Conway, Dominique Wilkins, champion Celtic jersey.
So
we're looking at.
Hey, that motherfucker behind you had it. He had it. Bravo had that
It's a little dirty, but
Bravo, you had that.
you had that as a kid?
He had it. He was like the only dude in
Oh,
all of
it's
Evansville
so rare.
that had
So
the thing.
rare.
And he was
So
like,
random.
like we would always joke about this shit growing up. Like, hey man, you got that Dominic Celtics jersey I can wear?
You guys didn't rock
he
the
found
fucking
it.
asshole Reggie Miller?
No.
Mm.
I'm
guys
I'm a
liked him,
Pippen
huh?
guy, man.
Oh, yeah? You were a Bulls fan?
Yeah, just a Pippen guy.
Okay.
Love Pippen.
Scottie
Love
Pip.
Pippen. So let me go back to college real quick
Yep.
with you. I read somewhere that you originally wanted to either be a gym teacher or an NBA ref.
Correct.
True?
Correct. True story.
Wow.
Actually wanted to be an NBA ref for
That's
a
such a
long
thankless
time.
job, man, because you have to work your way up.
You do. It's like anything. It's like any other sports. Trying to be a baseball player, basketball player. There's not colleges for it, but there's a union first called IABO, IAABO,
Okay.
and you get certified to do junior varsity. So at the time when I started, you had to be 18. In middle school, they had 5 quarters, not 4, 5, because I believe you couldn't you couldn't drop a player. So there probably was like 40 kids on the team. It was crazy.
So it got
every
like
kid
the
had
B
to play.
team got to play in the 5th quarter or whatever.
Yeah,
It's like an additional.
exactly.
They still do that in elementary
Oh, okay.
schools. Yeah.
All right, great. So you start in junior varsity, and then if you become like great, then they throw you in like
Sure.
high school, and then you go to JV. Then there's collegiate level, and then there's pro-am. I don't know if they still have this yet. And then they have camps that you go to, and you get scouted. And unfortunately, because I have flat feet, really bad posture, the scouters.
That was going to help you in the draft, though. Like
Dude,
in
if
a
I was-
military
if
draft,
I was,
you were good.
Oh, I was good. I
Good
don't have
fucking
to go to Army.
You never
It's
had that
great.
stress, right?
Oh, because I do one push-up, I'm exhausted.
It's over.
It's terrible. So, yeah, they were like, you don't stand up really straight. Your arm doesn't like go straight up, so this is not going to work out for you. So I was pissed, but I still do some basketball refereeing on the
Oh,
side.
really?
Yeah. So
That's dope.
my buddy does this Knicks crew, which is dope. It's called the Orange and Blue Crew. And you pay for 2 tickets for the game, and then you get to play on the court for like an hour.
Cool.
So as a volunteer, I get to ref on
Nice.
the Knicks court,
What kind
the
of shit?
NACA.
What kind of shit you rock out there to be the ref?
Actually, so it's kind of wild. So you have to wear, the zebra. You have to wear black shorts, black socks, and black basketball sneakers.
That's not your style, though.
No, so I do it.
You
I
have
rock
to.
it. So actually, there I would rock. I have it. Someone gave me like an All-Star 2000 LA. When was the last All-Star game in LA?
Maybe 2002, 2003? No, 2010?
So
Fuck,
whatever.
I
I
don't know.
don't even remember. So I have those shorts, which are dope. And then actually I have 2005 Kobe Hirachis.
Oh, yeah.
All black with that strap.
Yeah.
So I rock those.
So you still put a little Mr. Throwback
Yeah,
flavor
so
into
the
it.
first time I did,
Because you have to.
You got to put. First time I wore Space Jams, which were terrible, so I couldn't really run. Again, to complain, I'm not a good runner. I'm not fast. The flat feet doesn't really hit off the floor real well. But I really enjoyed it, and I'm actually pretty serious when I do it. And people are like,
You're good.
sorry, I ate a bagel, and I'm burping it up.
That was like 14 hours ago.
It was. So where was I going with this?
You take it serious. And
I take
people
it really
kinda-
serious.
yeah.
People are like, what is he doing? He's like really into this, blowing his whistle, calling fouls, travels.
You're teaching the game. Is
I
what you're
love
doing,
an offensive foul. My favorite referee,
because you can sell the shit out
Dick
of it.
Bavetta. That
Yeah.
motherfucker would be like, he'd do the trot. He'd do the trot, and then it'd be like, offensive foul! It was awesome.
But
And I
that's like a
loved it.
metaphor for life, right? As long as you're confident and you can sell something, you can say whatever the fuck
Pretty
you want.
much. You could definitely do that. So I get real animated. I got the Fox 40 classic whistle, like
Nice.
attached to the thing. It's
Fucking
I
dead
love
serious.
it.
We
So-
got to get video of
Yeah,
this, though.
it's real funny.
like a documentary on Mr.
Document-
Throwback, the referee. It would be dope, man.
That would be dope.
Are
I
you
think we
listening,
would watch
Netflix? Are you listening?
it. Netflix needs to hire me to become the
Need to
referee.
get that done.
It was dope. So I really love that. And then I also would referee like the youth, and it's fun. Like I'd make a couple bucks. Like when my parents lived on Long Island, I would ref little kid basketball. I was like half coach, half referee. I'd make like $60 a game. I'd do like 10 games a day, and $600. Like,
there you go.
It's amazing money. And then I go to frickin' Champion outlets and buy Champion jerseys.
Especially if you had fun with it, right?
I also remember having, for some reason in Long Island, don't know why they had this at Marshall's, but I had a full set Corliss Williamson Arkansas jersey.
So dope.
And short. Maroon and white. I don't know why I had that, but I had that. Sick.
Do you still have it?
Do not, unfortunately.
Man.
I did have a Felipe Lopez jersey for a long time.
Yeah.
And then in
The one from the Instagram story?
So I had a red one.
Okay.
It was authentic Apex.
Yeah.
And in 96, Felipe Lopez came to my sleepaway camp. Wild.
That is
And
wild.
it was weird. Like God, Sham God, Felipe Providence, God, Sham God, Felipe Lopez, John Wallace, Syracuse, Derek. Like I don't know why, but like NBA players would like tour Jewish basketball camps. Don't know why, but it's hilarious.
That's great,
so actually,
though.
I have a picture of myself with like 3 other my bunkmates.
I've seen it. You've sent it to me, I think.
With Felipe, and it says like best buds.
friend, like to my best friend
It's
Michael.
So no, it just says
No,
best buds. So actually, when Felipe Lopez had the 30 for 30, they came to the store and did an interview with him, and I showed him the picture, and he signed
That's
like
dope.
to my best buds,
Yeah.
like so dope. It was wild to meet him in 96 when
Right.
I was, I don't know, 16, and now double my age, and Felipe Lopez is in my store, in my domain. It's such a different feeling.
Right.
You know, when athletes and celebrities come in, it's cool.
Right.
But I
right.
definitely
We're
am
gonna get to
starstruck.
that.
I'm definitely starstruck.
So you brought up the Knicks when you were talking about doing the refereeing because you get to do it within, the Knicks organization or
I
whatever.
do.
But you work for the Knicks.
I did. In 2004-05, I was the statistician for the Knicks.
How many times you fuck up?
Every single time. I did 15. So while I was a basketball referee, this guy who used to ref also, and his son played basketball, we got close. And we actually, before the stats, I threw T-shirts at people. And this is probably how I got fired. I will let you
Okay.
know. So Chipotle in 2003 sponsored the T-shirt toss throw. And your boy took every single coupon, put it in his back pocket, and then threw the T-shirts. I had about 40 or 80 Chipotle free burritos. I'd go to Chipotle every single night and get a free burrito. Amazing. Got fired from that. So then fast forward.
But they still got the T-shirt out.
They
of
still
it.
got the T-shirt, but they
Yeah.
did not get the Chipotle.
The coupon.
They did not get the coupon.
Coupon was more important to you. The
Coupon
T-shirt was
way
probably
yeah,
more
I'd save
important
like
to them.
$8. I'd have like
It's a win-win.
Win-win for me, probably not for the Knicks.
Yeah, well,
Whatever.
The Knicks might have been pissed, but
Knicks,
whatever.
Fuck them right now at this point. Fuck that team. We'll talk about my horrible experience with the Knicks later on. But
Okay.
so after that, I met this guy, Dave Freed, on the train, and he's like, "Hey, you work for the Knicks. What do you do?" I'm like, "I throw T-shirts at people and steal fucking coupons." He's like, "Do you want to do stats?" And I'm like, "What does that mean?" He's like,
you got fired up.
I got,
You know
like,
what I mean? Like,
I like upgraded,
Yeah,
and like on
exactly.
the train. I'm like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "You'll sit with like Mike Breen, John Starks, Walt Frazier,
Wow.
and you would count stats on the court." I'm like, "All right, I'm down." So I went to his house. He showed me how to do it, but I didn't pay attention. You know, I'm like 20 years old. I didn't really care. Like, I'm just like excited to go to the Knicks game, sit courtside,
Get caught up watching the
paid.
game,
Literally, yes.
Yes.
You're on the court. You're getting paid $100. You're hanging out with Frazier. It's wild. So I remember first game. It was 2005. Nate Robinson's on the team. I believe he had like a crazy first half, like 10 or 15 assists, like first half. And so basically they would want specific stats per game, and you would just like write it on a piece of paper and hand it to like the announcer, and then he would announce it on the TV. So I believe Nate Robinson had like 15 first half assist, and I think I told him he had like 8 or 9, and the guy was like, "This is wrong." He was like, "This is wrong." I think it's Nate Robinson. I'm like, "Oh fuck, I totally fucked up."
So he said that on air?
He said, "This is wrong." He probably has like 15, so I felt like a piece of shit.
Hell yeah.
I ended up doing like 15 home games for the Knicks, and then they shipped me off to the smelly Continental Arena. to do the Nets.
Oh.
So I did like 3 or 4 net
You
games.
got traded.
I got traded to the Nets.
That's kind of cool, though.
It was cool. Like, whatever. I didn't give a shit. I got paid $100. I suited up. I wore a suit and tie, walked on the court like I ran the show. And after the Nets, I got recruited to the WNBA. Worst experience of my life. Worst fucking shit ever. Holy crap. I don't know how people watch that. But, yeah, that was boring. It's like a layup party.
Yeah.
It's boring. But now I think they started dunking, which is awesome because, yep, dunking is exciting.
So I coached girls basketball for a
Okay.
little bit up in Indy. And the one thing that I will say about it, because there's a lot of that sentiment to it too, but from a coaching standpoint, it's amazing because you get to test your X's and O's because the girls will sit there and do what you tell them to do.
Mm-hmm.
As opposed to the guys that are out there kind of on
Sure.
their own free will and shit.
Well, I don't want to get
From
in
the X's
trouble
and
by
O's
the
stuff?
women out here, but this is in 2005. I was 20 years old, wasn't really paying attention, but when you first watch a WNBA game, you're not super excited. You know, they're doing layups, they're shooting,
Well,
whatever.
you're also coming from
I'm
the
coming
NBA.
from the NBA. So, listen, women, I love you. I love all women. I'm married, man. I'm sorry I'm not single, but I do love women. So, nothing against women. I'm just saying the basketball, for me, it wasn't exciting. And then after that, I went to hockey. But that was even worse. That was fucking terrible. They threw me in a trailer with like 30 TVs called Bug Stats.
Did you know shit about
Dude,
hockey?
I didn't know shit about. No, I mean I know
You do know
hockey,
hockey?
but like, okay, so they sat me behind a computer, and literally I'd watch the game, and anytime they scored, I'd just be like 1.
You're just making like
Literally,
dash
I
marks?
touched like
dash
1 because how many goals are in fucking hockey? It's so fucking boring. So I'm just like 1, and then they would.
And you're hitting the one like 3 times a game.
Yeah,
Period. Like,
yeah, like 1, 1. I'm like, this is better. I'm like, I'd rather fucking watch the Mighty Ducks fucking play Iceland right now. Like, let's go.
No shit.
Varsity.
Gordon Bombay.
Gordon Bombay, my shit.
Get after
So that, and then backtracking, that's the only fake jersey I'd rock, like a fake,
Sure.
like Coach Bombay, like straight up Charlie Conway,
Yeah.
you know, the Bash
Bash
Brothers,
Brothers were
Fire,
dope.
Julia the Cat Gaffney,
Get the
Knuckle Puck, like that,
Flying V.
because I love the Mighty Ducks.
Sure.
So
I
I would
couldn't
rock
tell.
those jerseys.
I couldn't tell.
I'd rock that jersey.
All right, so let's fast forward a little
Okay.
bit, okay? And you started, but you didn't start with this store. You started with a pop-up in Brooklyn that lasted 6 months. Can
So
you
actually,
take me back?
before that, I did a flea market.
Okay, right.
So I started in the DeKalb Market, flea market, January of 2012.
Okay.
Freezing cold outside with my dad. I lived at home with my parents
Sure.
at the time, and my dad would help me in my Chevy Blazer 1996.
You still got it?
Chevy, nope. Good, long gone. So we'd pack the trunk. Freezing cold January, set up, and pretty much did that January to May. Loved it, fell in love with it. Literally, like, the fact that you set up, people come up to your booth, they look at your spread, they say, all right, this is $50. Can you do $20? I'm like, nah, man, that's a low ball. Like, can you do 40? And they're like, 35? You're like, shake hands. And I'm like,
Yeah.
that was the first experience. I remember I sold like a champion Dream Team jersey. I think it was an Isaiah Thomas Dream Team 2.
Yeah.
Or a
Should've
Dominic,
been on
or
Dream
a
Team
Dominic
1.
Wilkins. I'm not sure.
Okay.
But I was like, whoa, did that just happen? I like exchange, like I
you
never
get kind
did
of
that
like a
before.
high off that,
I
though.
did,
Yeah.
and I was like,
Because
this
it's
is
fun.
It is. It's like people are checking out what you have. Hopefully it's good, and they're buying it. And the cash transfer was like, to me, it was like, what just
Eye-opening.
happened? It really was. And every weekend just get better and better. I was doing like 6, 7, 1,000, 1,200. I was like, holy shit. Like, and then you're at a flea market, and most of the flea market is crap. It's all like
Sure.
shit from your parents' basement,
Right.
like tires and like dumb scarves and shit. And then there's me setting up with like starter jackets, snapbacks, kicks, and people are like, why is this here?
Right.
So
But you're kind of testing two things, right? You're testing, number one, your skills as a salesman and a negotiator. And then you're also testing, like, what you think is cool, do other people think is cool?
yeah.
And then and that's a lot like what we do with 19.9. When we started this, it's like we have this whole customer fan base that just comes out of the woodwork, and you're like, there's others like me. Like you and I connecting here, it's like cut pretty much from the same cloth. Different philosophies on some shit, but the love of certain stuff is exactly the same.
Absolutely.
We have our own like community, and that's crazy dope to me.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. Don't know where I was going.
That's all right.
like
So
to lose
I
track
was
on
gonna
things.
I can piggyback off
Flea market.
what we just said. Yeah, because I wanted to get to customer service too, but I do want to hit on the Brooklyn pop up. I want to hear about that.
So Brooklyn blah 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 balls. All right, so Brooklyn pop up was in the DeKalb market. So after the flea market, I was like, I want to do this full time. Like, where can I actually set up? I don't have money. My parents are not giving me money to open a store. I don't have that much inventory. Like, where can I go? So I Googled online this place called DeKalb Market, and it was in Brooklyn, not too far from the Barclays Center. And they were mini stores. They were in these old shipping containers. It was really cool. So they would cut them in half, and they'd put, a glass door in the front, and it was 80 square feet.
Okay.
So from Tuesday to Sunday, it was open basically year-round. It was more a weekend thing. Like, people would come on the weekends. There was like a band. They'd do live music, and then people would shop around, and they had food carts, and it was cool. So from May to October, I did that, and then they kicked us out. Someone bought the land. They built a high-rise.
Gotcha.
So I'm like, I only have $6,000 to my name. What am I going to do? So I go home. I'm miserable. I put on sweatpants. I'm sitting in the dark. I'm just pissed. My wife comes in. She's like, get the fuck up. You look like shit. Go thrifting or something.
Uh-huh.
So I go thrifting in this area, and I stumble upon 9th Street, and I see this store, and my eyes lit up. And I'm like, this store is set up for me to just walk in, literally hang shit up.
Drop key.
It had a desk. It had racks. It had lights. It had a music thing, dressing room. It was perfect. So this lady walks out of the building and was like, "Are you interested in the space?" I'm like, "I would love to. I just came from this flea market. I did a pop-up shop. I literally have $6,000 to my name." She's like, "Call me tomorrow. We'll talk about the negotiation of you getting the store." I'm like, "What?" So her name is Mary. I called her up. She's like, "All right, listen, we've been looking for someone just like you. There was a men's vintage clothing store prior. We just want someone basically just set up and go." I was like, "All right, well, I only have $6,000. She goes, "Fine. Give me $5,700 up front, and the store is yours for 3 years at $2,500 a month." I said, "Done."
Wow.
And I grabbed a couple consigners and then just kind of like dumped vintage in there, and then I was there 5 years.
Right.
I killed it.
That wasn't this space.
No.
This was the space across the street you were talking about?
It was 250 square feet. The store did well. I'm an open book, so I had $100,000 in my pocket, and I was really growing out of it. I was like, I have so much inventory in storage. People can't even. If you came in and you wanted a jacket, I would have to say, "Yo, it's in storage. I can't even go get it."
Right.
You'd either have to wait. I'd physically go there because I want to sell shit.
Sure.
Or I don't see you again.
Right.
So I was like, I need a bigger space to hold every inventory and a basement. So the store across the street opened up, and
which is where we're sitting now.
We're sitting right now, and this was wild. So the first time I saw the store, the store was $5,700 a month. They wanted 6 months down. So let's say it's $6,000 times 6 is $36,000. So I have $100,000 up front just to walk in the space. It was a white box, no racks, no nothing. This is all me. I would have to start fresh. Blah blah blah. So I was like, "Can you do $5,500 with 3 months down?" And they were like, "No." So I was like, "Oh fuck, no worries, no big deal, whatever. I'll stay in my old space another year, see what happens." So a couple days later, because on each store they have a for lease, for sale sign, whatever. So they took it down, and I was like, "Fuck, someone got it." I was so pissed. Went home, I was like complaining. I was like, "Should have got it." Blah blah blah. Next day, it's back on. I'm like, "Oh my god, something must have fell through. I called him up. I said, listen, I want to store right now, today. What's the best we can do? I know you want this dumb 6 months down right now. They were like, give us $4,900, 6 months down. I was like, done, sold. I'm like, you're stupid. Like, you could have got an extra $600 a month for me, and you crying over 3 months.
Right.
Fuck it, whatever. So
And here
we are. I'm now at $5,200 a month. They have my 6 months down security deposit. I signed a 10-year lease. So I put down about $35,000. Cost me $20,000 of inventory, and then another $20,000 of renovating the space.
It looks good.
It is.
And it's spacious. The 5 of us have been hanging out in here all day.
So
and haven't really
we couldn't
stepped
do
on
that
toes
in the
and
old
shit.
space,
Right,
and we didn't have a
exactly.
back room like this. I have a full-blown basement, website, so everything is in the space. It's great. So if you're coming in for a jacket, it's on our website. Give me 2 minutes. Let me run downstairs. I'll grab it for you. You could buy it right now. And that's the thing. Like, a lot of this stuff is a spur-of-the-moment purchase. You know, like, now you don't have to think. You're like, oh, it's here. I'm going to buy it. Like, back in the old store, you had to you could think. You could be like,
Right.
you know what? He's going to the warehouse. He's going to the storage. I don't have to buy it.
Right.
But now it's like, yo, it's here. I'm going to buy it.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
that's
Close the deal
been
quicker.
better. Yeah, so we're making, the
Don't
store's
let them,
doing a
don't
lot.
let the doubt creep
Don't
in.
let them leave.
Right. So I kind of piggyback off of that because I want to talk to you about just customer service because I know you're amazing at it.
Thank you.
And I think that it's like priority number one for us too
is.
on our side of
It
things
should be.
because we want to build lasting relationships and we want return customers and it's not really all about the money. It's just about getting to know people.
Yep.
Why is that so important for what you do here?
So I say this to everybody, and I really strongly believe this. If you have a great experience, you're going to tell the world. If you have a bad experience, you're going to tell the world. I would much rather you in my store to have the greatest experience because you're going to tell everybody. And I truly believe if you bend over backwards for somebody in your store, they will come back every single time. They don't care about the price. If the customer service is amazing and you go above and beyond for people, they will tell the world, and they will come back.
They become invested in
yes,
you.
100%.
And they want to see you do well because you did right by them.
Exactly.
But that's really hard for a lot of companies to understand, and it drives me crazy. And I shouldn't care because that's some of our competitors.
Yep.
But I look at it.
The bigger people, they're in it for the money. The little guys are really in it for the experience. And I truly believe if I didn't have the best customer service in my store, I would not be around for almost 8 years. They said in New York City, if you're open 3 or 5 years, you're successful.
Right.
You know, listen, I don't have a lot of money in my pocket. I just feel so successful because I have a great running store, I have great product, the knowledge, the passion. That's the thing.
Sure.
Like, I'm here every single day. Like, I love being here. I love putting a smile on everyone's face, even if they don't buy anything. Because if they have a good experience, they're going to be like, you know what? I'll go back there.
Yeah.
Like, that dude was cool. Like, he treated me great.
It's always to me, it's about my name being on it. And so if my name is on it, I want it to be run the proper way because it's a reflection of us,
Yep.
as we run it. But you also, it's something that you can't fake.
You
Like,
can't teach it. That's the thing.
It's an it thing, right?
It's like you can't teach sales. Like, you can't teach personality. Listen, all my workers have different, backgrounds
yeah.
and where they came from. But I do believe if you can conform to the 8 hours that your boss has given you the opportunity and you work your ass off, he will treat you like gold. And that's me. Like, I have one guy with me, Gio. He's great. He's been with me almost 3 years. And he's like family to me.
Sure.
I mean, I will do anything for this kid. If he's a music guy, go. I don't mind. Like, if you're going to run my shop for a week while I'm out in L.A., you can go do your thing. I'll work your hours. Not a problem. But, yes, customer service is number one because, listen, we're selling a product, okay? And if the product is not right, you need to make it right.
Sure.
Because I've realized that you need to make every single person happy because they will come back.
Right.
And if I've been to a store and I'm not treated, I don't care if it's Prada, Gucci, all these high-end brands. If I don't have a good experience, I will never return, and I'll go to the next store and buy something else.
So it's really interesting, like in the day and age of digital marketing, and I know you do a ton with Instagram, so do we, and stories and Twitter and all that stuff. We're all immersed in that stuff. But still, what you hit on earlier, the most powerful advertising is word of mouth.
I agree.
And it's amazing. It's almost comforting that that's still the way to build, is off of that, to where you can't just be this digital marketing guru and build a brand that has the loyalty that our brands have, doing it that way.
Absolutely.
And I think with the it factor or whatever, it's a built-in advantage. And I don't want to come across as super vain or whatever, just kind of calling it how I see it. But people are invested in our companies because they want us to do well. And that's really cool. Super powerful.
I mean, I've been in the store since day one. I mean, I've had customers only come in to work with me. It's not a reflection on my employees, but if you've had a great relationship with one person and he's treated you this way and he's hooked you up or gave you a better deal or this, that, and the other thing, you're going to only want to go back to that guy. Right. And I understand that. And I hope it doesn't bother my employees because I've done that. Like if I'm buying a car and you had a really good experience with Joe and Joe gave you a deal and he threw in a free wiper and a tire, you're going to go back to Joe. You're not going to go to Dan and be like, yo, Joe gave me this deal. Well, Dan's not ready to give you that deal, so I'm going to go back to Joe. So that's the situation here.
So of all the shit that you have in here, with 99, we've had this old retro Larry Bird lunchbox that's been with us since day one.
Okay.
We use it as our cash box. We talk about him like he's part of our group,
legend.
Yeah, and we're like, hey, how have you fed Larry lately? It just means how much cash does Larry have in it, right? Is there a piece in here that's been with you from the start that you have like sentimental value to you? Any of your decoration? I'm not talking about the pieces that you sell, but the stuff that you have hung, because you got a lot of shit on your walls.
Yeah,
here.
I do.
Anything in particular that's super special to you or has a special meaning?
Well, someone actually made me my own like starting lineup action figure.
That thing is dope. I was looking at that earlier.
Is probably the coolest gift I've ever gotten.
It's crazy.
Right now.
Down to the card, too.
Hopefully I'll get a baby soon. But other than that, like this is probably one of the coolest things. So long story short, this guy came in. He's like, I buy toys. I take the heads off of other toys and I swap them. I'm like, oh, that's dope. Can you make me one? So he brought in like a superhero one. And I'm like, I'm not really big into like Marvel and DC and all this stuff. Like I like the movies, but I don't really care. I was a Ghostbuster Ninja Turtle dude when I was a kid. But I'm like, I love sports. I'm like, can you make me as like a basketball player? And at the time we made those sweatsuits and the guy came back with this and I was like, holy shit, this guy literally took a Charles Barkley,
it's awesome,
like full set and put like a Bill Wennington face on. I was, me, and the full set.
But it looks really fucking good, man.
Dope, and I
so
love
good.
it, and I've had it for almost 7 or 8 years, and I will never get rid of it. Unless someone pays me like $1 million.
Everything's for sale at Mr. Throwback.
Honestly, money does talk.
Sure.
I am a hoarder. I like collecting things. I like things, jerseys and shorts. But, everything does have a price at some point. You got to sell. It can't come with you. How many jerseys can I bring to the grave?
I don't know.
I rock mad gamers out there. Gamers.
You did show me your closet, your personal closet at home, a picture of that.
I have quite a bit of jerseys.
A lot.
I'm a hoarder.
There's a lot. Let's stick with jerseys. You talked a little bit about the champions in the 90s shit and the NBA jerseys and all that. I'm a 90s era Nike jersey guy. I forgot to take this hoodie off. I wanted to do this podcast in my Ray Allen, Connecticut jersey because I knew you would have jerseys.
I would wear jerseys.
What do you got for me in the 90s era here? You got anything in stock, 90s era Nike?
Just Nike. Collegiate wear or basketball?
Yeah.
Or NBA?
I saw one out there. You're Moten.
Oh, yeah. So I have
that
authentic,
thing is crazy.
Yeah, Lawrence Moten authentic
and
Syracuse jersey.
It might be walking out the door with me.
Size medium, though. Can you squeeze in?
Is that a fat joke?
I'm just saying you look like you're a little buff. And
so it is a fat joke.
I don't know. It's not a fat joke. I think it's a medium and you're like a large.
I'm not going to lie. I sent it to a buddy.
Or you might
who's a
just put it
huge
on.
Syracuse fan.
It's dope, and it's like the old school, like
no, I would never buy
Coleman
from
era.
you and sell. I would buy from you to give.
I don't care.
For
You
sure.
could sell. I don't mind.
To give.
Listen,
I got a huge Syracuse friend.
Listen,
That's
we
a buddy.
all do it. I go to other stores, I buy jerseys from them, and
But
then I throw it on my
that's
website.
the stitched one.
That is an authentic, meaning stitched on. So
So
there's
dope.
a lot of terms in the basketball world. There's a replica,
Right.
which is
Which
like
is what
that
I'm wearing.
screen printed. That's more like a sublimated
Sure,
jersey.
for sure.
So the screen print. But in the 80s, in the NBA, they did wear a heavy mesh with the screen print.
Right,
so
right,
like
right.
Let's Go Jordan, Michael Jordan, Sand Knit. They
Yeah.
had the heavy mesh with the
Yeah.
screen print. It's dope.
So good.
So cool. That vinyl like shines.
It's great.
Gorgeous.
Yeah.
So they did wear that, and then they went into the the authentic stitched on version. Then there's obviously like the swingman. Nike coined that term swingman, so it's between a replica and an authentic. And then there's pro cut, there's team issued, there's game worn, that's why I say gamer. So these are actually game used jerseys by the player. So I rock those. I'm rocking right now a Derek Strong game worn 1996, 97.
That star pops.
It's
too.
dope. Like I don't even care about
So I have
the guy
T-
anymore.
I have
Like,
the
just
T-Mac
like the
authentic
jersey.
of that from the
Pinstripe,
retro nights.
nice.
Oh, it's crazy.
It's dope.
So good.
It's hard, as a basketball, I guess, fan now. I mean, the Knicks are so bad. I had a story, long story short, I went to the game against Porzingis. I'm ready to boo that motherfucker, whatever. The whole stadium booing. I'm just decked out Nick gear. I think I'm wearing like a Ewing gamer because I'm obsessed with Patrick. I'm not wearing like a fuck Dolan, not a fuck Porzingis, not anti-Dolan.
Right.
I'm just going in like a regular fan. Walk through the metal detectors, and there's a security guy waiting for me. He's like, yo, come with me. I'm like, yo, did I win something? Like, am I shooting
Not
a
with
half-court
security.
shot? Am I getting free popcorn or something? Like, I'm pumped. And he's like, no, are you Michael Spitz? I'm like, yeah, why? He's like, have you been talking smack, like shit about James Dolan and the Knicks on your social media?
You're kidding.
And I'm like, of course. Doesn't everybody do that?
Yeah.
And he's like, well, you're a big social media guy. We've been watching you. There's an NBA code of conduct that if you continue doing what you're doing, we're banning you from the stadium. And I'm like, I'm not wearing like a fuck you shirt in the building. I'm not rioting. I'm not screaming, sell the team. I mean, I'm chanting it with other people.
For sure.
But like, I'm not actively like pursuing to get banned. But because on social media, I guess I have a following, and they thought that I would potentially have a riot over there. That they were like,
is a
let me get
crazy-
your ID and your ticket. They're like, he's in section 109, row 12. Michael Spitz. If he starts some shit, fucking grab him. I'm like, this is ridiculous.
That's
Isn't there called freedom of
crazy.
speech? What if you're you write stuff for Slam, or you
Right.
write stuff for the newspaper? They're going to be like, oh, there he is. There's the
Right.
guy.
Well, are they going after the ESPN people that are saying he's the worst owner?
I don't know.
I
I don't know. It was crazy. So at this point, them being so bad that it's like, you know what? Maybe I should get banned. Maybe I hang out with Charles Oakley and Spike Lee, start a TV show, go around to every stadium wearing a T-shirt that said, I got banned by James Dolan, hashtag free throwback. And people are coming up to me and like, yo, that guy got banned, let's take a picture. Like
Yeah,
the
right.
Marlins
You're the
band
guy that- yeah.
at like fucking Yankee Stadium. Like, why is this
Yeah.
guy here? But like people love him, and they go up to him and they take pictures with
Well,
him.
we were talking a little bit about you going out to the Rose Bowl, the flea market out at the Rose Bowl. Was that your first time going?
First time in LA, first time in California.
Okay.
Not a big flyer.
Right. Yeah. Understood.
I'm scared. I
Okay.
don't like turbulence.
But we were talking a little bit about you getting recognized out there. Does that
Mhm.
happen often now as your star kind of rises?
Yeah, I guess a little bit. It's, listen, we don't want to be like that person, but going to Knick games, I'll be honest, it's kind of cool. I like that because people recognize me as Mr. Throwback, which is great.
Like an alter ego, right?
It's great because the name is respected.
Yeah.
Mr. is respected.
Sure.
That's
strong.
what I want it to be. I want it to be respected in this game as like one of the pioneers of vintage sportswear. And people recognize that. And it's not like, oh, look, it's Mike's vintage store guy. it's Mr. Throwback, and they're screaming, "Yo, Mr. Throwback, what up, dog? I follow you on Instagram." Like, it's cool.
That's cool shit, though.
I like it. I like it. I'm not gonna lie. I do enjoy it. Taking pictures. I signed one autograph. It was wild. Like some little kid.
What do I sign this as? Spitz or
no,
Throwback?
I did Mr. Throwback.
Absolutely.
The kid had a sign bowl with John Starks. I'm like, are you sure you want me to ruin this?
Yeah, I'm
My
devalue
autograph
this?
is going to devalue this so much. But I signed Mr. Throwback. It was dope. So, yeah. And then at the Rose Bowl, I mean, I'm walking around. You know, I follow a lot of people on Instagram in this world, so they were there.
Right.
I finally met them, and they hooked me up. It was nice, and
That's
now
cool.
I'm going to resell it in my shop.
Well, listen, we really appreciate you doing the pod with us.
Yeah, man,
really
this is fun.
Appreciate you having us here.
Dude, I respect you guys so much. The fact that I'm opening up to new ideas and working with other companies that are interested in sportswear and growing their brand. It's only we're hitting the same demographic. Why not figure something out and work together?
Yep.
I really do believe collaborating is a great thing for both parties if it is equally
Aligned.
beneficial
And
for
aligned,
each
right,
other.
for sure. No,
You know, at this point, it's hard. A lot of people ask for collabs and stuff like that, but like, I'm not. You know, I worked my ass off to get here. It's hard to like.
let people in.
It's hard.
To a bit.
It's hard.
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
hard.
I get it.
You know,
totally get it.
You
But
know,
we're gonna-
I do really want to work with other brands that are established and stuff like that we could equally align with each other. That
Right.
could be co-beneficial.
it's
for
hard.
Each other.
That-
It's hard to
Yeah,
say
you're
no
right.
to
It's
someone,
hard.
and I've had more no's than yeses, and you know we're all trying to get
Sure.
as big as possible, and that's a situation.
Well, we're gonna come back next March. We're gonna do it right without the coronavirus here.
no Corona, guys.
You know, we'll get March Madness actually happening. We'll get the Big
Wild.
E's actually happening. We'll get our packages actually delivered here.
Villanova
was-
shorts.
there was-
please.
There was one question I wanted to end on,
Okay.
and I'm really interested to get your take on this because I know, like, you and I, we deal on like recreating stuff, or you deal in like actually getting the old pieces. I deal in recreating the old pieces. Is there a certain brand from your childhood that you would like to see resurface in the sports apparel?
So a lot of them actually re-retroed.
I know.
So
That's why I kind of ask. Is there one out there that hasn't, that you're kind of into? Because Champions made a huge comeback. Starter's making a comeback.
Yeah, I did a collab with Star. Chalk Line's big.
Yeah, Chalk Line's really big.
I actually really do like the Pro Player Apex logo athletics. I mean,
Yes.
those haven't been touched on. They all did have like different unique style jackets and stuff like that. So those haven't been back yet.
Apex was the one that I wrote down.
Apex.
I thought that you
Yeah.
might go Apex just
Well,
because we had talked about it in
okay.
the past a little
I
bit.
don't recall that, but sure. And
Well, we
carry
talked
that.
about it in regards to the St. John's, the
Got
Felipe
it.
stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And I knew how much you loved
Such
that.
an
So
epic
I was
jersey.
kind of thinking that we would go Apex.
Yeah.
We had a customer, one of our followers, hit Matt up on Instagram, and he was like, "Yo, I love all the design work you do for him." And he was like, "Look at this shit," and he just sent us Apex catalogs from back in like the
Wow.
'90s, and it has like shooting shirts.
Amazing.
And, it's
The
crazy.
shoot- the thing is, I believe shorts are easy. The shooting shirts are dope. The problem is not a lot of people rock
are gonna
them.
wear a shooting shirt.
So I'd be careful where you go with that.
Yep.
Warm-up jackets, they're cool, but like
Hard to wear.
they're hard to wear.
Hard
I
to
think
pair up.
shorts are
Yep.
really good. T-shirts are easy. Hoodies, socks are
shit,
cool.
crew
Stuff like
necks,
that.
yeah.
I don't know. The warm-ups, like I have a bunch of like Champion, Bulls do well, Lakers now obviously, but they're hard to wear.
Well, I was at the NBA store yesterday and walked down, and I saw the Dream Team warm-ups, and I'm like, damn, these things are dope,
Mitchell and S.
but I'll never wear it.
Okay.
Like, how can I buy it if I'm not going to wear it? Spend that
True.
money. You know what I mean?
How much were
But
they?
I still loved it. I can't even remember. But
Yeah,
I'm just
was
like,
it
I
a
can't do it.
pullover?
No, it was like the button up, like the true
Okay.
warm-ups that the original Dream Team wore.
So dope.
So crazy good. Crazy good. But
Yeah,
then,
they
like,
make-
what are you gonna wear with? It's tough,
Yep,
man.
that's the
Shooting shirts
problem.
are tough.
They are hard, but they are cool. I mean, some I'm sure the Villanovas.
Yeah.
The
We got something in the work.
Syracuses.
We're gonna figure something out with the shooting shirts. I can't come out with it yet.
Okay.
So we got
Ooh.
something.
Ooh, a little secret.
We'll go off mic for that.
All right. Sounds dope. Well, thanks for having me. I
Yeah,
appreciate it.
Absolutely, man.
Follow
Thanks
the
again.
IG, Mr. Throwback NYC.
Plug it, man.
Plug it, baby. Come through to the shop. Yo, here's a good one. if you use code Thursday, you get 20% off.
There you go.
Boom.
There you go.
Vintage only.
Thanks, Mike.
You got it.
You're the man.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening to the 19.9 podcast with HVS, the high volume shooters. For more information, check out the blog at 199.com under HVS. And while you're there, do yourself a favor and pick up some retro college shorts. Till next time.